My name's Kayla, and this is Cinnamon the Score Bunny, and today we're going to be diving into the political messaging behind Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Because video games are art, and all art is political. For BDSP, this means looking at Team Galactic and how they are viewed within the Sinnoh region. At first, their actions and goals might seem ridiculous, but they actually aren't that far off from what happens in real life. Arguably more so now than when these games were originally released. If you live in America anyways, which is now labeled as a backsliding democracy due to Trump refusing to concede the 2020 election and the resulting attack on the US Capitol. Anyways, to understand Team Galactic, we need to know that they represent a personalist dictatorship. A personalist dictatorship is characterized by an isolation of power such that one person, in this case Cyrus, is in control of the objectives and actions of the group. This person is typically ambitious, willing to do whatever is needed to achieve their goals. They tend to be okay with violence, viewing subordinates as a means to an end rather than as actual human beings. Cyrus is literally willing to sacrifice everyone alive to create his perfect world. Yes, he's a bit more dramatic with this than the dictators we see in real life, but that's mostly to drive home the point since Pokemon games tend to cater to a wide age range, including young people who might not see the messaging if it's more subtle. I mean, many adults are able to identify personalist dictators in real life, so maybe the subtlety isn't just for the kids. In personalist dictatorships, there are a few people near the top, but they must have complete obedience to their leader such that they compete amongst each other rather than to try and take the leader's place. Anyone who gets too ambitious is ousted from the group. We see this with Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, who are all extremely supportive of Cyrus, but want to be better than each other to earn his favor. From there, we have a huge number of Team Galactic grunts jockeying for promotions and raises and, well, basically for power. None of them actually have much of a chance of moving up in the organization, but they're made to believe that they do. This is exactly how it is with personalist dictatorships, which frequently use propaganda to get their people to overestimate the benefits to themselves personally for following the leader without question. They're told that they can work their way up and become powerful billionaires when in reality, that's not going to actually happen. Speaking of propaganda, one feature of personalist dictatorships is that the leader gains control of the media. They make it so that they can literally lie on camera and no one can call them out on it without being labeled fake news. In BDSP, TVs will literally show ads encouraging people to join Team Galactic. While some of the townspeople are wary of Team Galactic, a lot of the general population sees them as cool and getting things done, even though the things they're getting done are only benefiting Cyrus, not the people themselves. What exactly do personalist dictatorships tend to get done anyways? Personalist dictatorships often focus on building weapons so that anyone who challenges their ideas can be dissuaded from standing against them through force. In the case of Team Galactic, they literally make bombs to blow up the lakes. And they also create the red chain to control the leaders of their opposition, aka the legendary Pokemon, via force. While these weapons allow the leader to appear more powerful, they don't actually help the general populace the way that investing this time and money into social services would. Imagine if instead of building these weapons, Team Galactic instead focused on public transportation that would allow people to move more quickly across the vast Sinnoh region. Or they could instead invest money into better equipment for the Orberg miners so that they could do their jobs more easily and safely. But no, the goal of a personalist dictatorship is not to help the general people. It's to consolidate power around one central leader. Personalist dictatorships see the populace as a means to an end, not as actual people. Okay, but what about Cyrus's actual plan to destroy reality and create it anew? How is that at all comparable to dictators in real life? Well, it's actually terrifyingly common rhetoric for dictators. In Hitler's infamous Stalingrad speech, his major point was to recreate the Germany from before they lost World War I, but to make it even better by killing tons of people. So, very bad. In Mussolini's declaration of war, he said, and I quote, "We will conquer in order, finally, to give a new world of peace and justice to Italy, to Europe, and to the universe." A new world, you say? A new universe? Considering that a certain recent president ran with the slogan, "Make America Great Again," this type of rhetoric should be scarily familiar. But it also means that the story of BDSP is extremely timely and relevant. Unfortunately, there will always people like Cyrus, dictators who promise to help the people while actually only caring about their own interests. It's important to recognize their strategies and rhetoric so that we can identify and oppose them. How do you oppose a dictator though? They seem pretty powerful.
How do you overthrow a dictator? You cut off her resources.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl actually give an answer to this through the Lake Guardians. Each of them represents something essential for removing a dictator from power. Uxie represents knowledge. Since dictators spread disinformation, we must use actual information to stop them. This means not shying away from the dark parts of our history so that when dictators want a return to the past, we can confidently say no. Mesprit represents emotion. Dictators promote competition over empathy. To stop a dictator, we must encourage everyone to see each other as people first, rather than as competitors for limited goods and services. We must seek to understand where other people are coming from, rather than discrediting their humanity. Finally, Azelf represents willpower. Dictators rely on complacency to stay in power. To stop a dictator, people must stand up and say that progress requires forward momentum, not a return to the past. So yeah, I hope this video helped you see Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in a new way, and maybe taught you some things about politics and social structure that you can apply to the real world. Did you notice any other political messages in BDSP? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Bye!